we're moving the Kraken recaps to Monday. It just makes more sense. It gets more eyes on this video. We got to get these in the millions somehow. I'd appreciate if they got in the hundreds, if I'm being completely honest with you. But you know what? We're starting. We're at a start. We're covering a sport that people don't know I cover. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. I'm not mad. Please don't print that I am mad. Please do print that I love simplyseattle.com, the very best in Seattle sports gear. Use code MOLLYWHOP15 to save 15% off your order. MOLLYWHOP15. There's a link in the description. It's an awesome deal for a great local business. Thank you so much, Simply Seattle. So they played 5 games. They lose 4 of them. They lose 3-2 to the Kings. They lose, should have been right in front of me. They lose 2-1 to the Kings. Excuse me. They win 3-2 against the Ducks. They lose 5-2 against the Ducks. Then they lose both games to the Sharks, 8-5 and 4-2. Are there any positives to take away from this? Decord was fine in the loss to the Kings. Goaltending was fine there, and it was mostly fine Monday too. A couple of 2-goal games. Can't really complain about that. And you got 5 goals in one of those games as well. Definitely your best offensive effort of those 5 not so great days. And there was a really nice game from Bjorkstrand in that one. A really nice game from Chandler Stevens. Shane Wright with a couple of power play goals. Any production from him we'll take right now. It just hasn't been there. So some signs of life there. It's very nice to see. I think that's pretty much it. And this is going to be a shorter video. The goaltending and the defense was just awful. Just awful the last 3. Unacceptably bad. And against teams that aren't very good. Like the Ducks are going to be a very middling team. That's a team that you should be winning against a lot. And then the Sharks, with all due respect to Macklin Celebrini, who has a chance to be an absolute star. I mean, that's unacceptable. And you got blown out in those games. You got blown out. It's not good. It's not good. And let's just be completely honest here. The 8-5 loss, I don't have any personal vendetta against Philip Grubauer. On the contrary, hope he's having a great Thanksgiving. It was the worst individual Seattle performance from a team sport. I don't cover non-team sports, so I don't know why I had to add that caveat. It was the worst individual performance I've seen from a Seattle sports player in many years. I forget what exactly the expected goal to goal allowed was, but I believe at one point it was -5. And that's not over exaggerating the situation. I'm 90% sure at one point it reached -5. And it may have ended up being worse. It's not like he was being dominated by these great shots and these weird angles. He just let in some softies. And I'm not completely excusing the defense. It wasn't good. But to say that he has not earned being the Seattle Kraken starting goalie is quite the understatement. And some of that is compliment to Decord. Without question, some of that is compliment to Joey Decord. But some of that is also big-time insult to Philip Grubauer. And it just hasn't worked out. We can appreciate how good he was in that postseason run to help the Kraken advance to within 1 game of the conference finals. That was such a fun run. Let's do that again. We can certainly appreciate that. It doesn't mean that Philip Grubauer deserves to be anything. And it's clear that Philip Grubauer is the backup. But he played like a AHL goalie. He played at below replacement level. And then to be fair, Decord wasn't great against the Sharks either. Couple of goals that I thought he should have saved. The defense really struggled in that one too. And that's disappointing because the defense, it's going to have to carry you. Now, one nice thing is they do get Vince Dunn back. Hopefully that pairing with Larson can be much better going forward, and I would imagine that it would. By the way, Vince Dunn, first game back, I believe 26 minutes. So clearly they had confidence in him. But this was a bad week. This is the type of week you can look back on and say, if they don't make the postseason, you can say, oh, yeah, probably should have played better against those teams, because they didn't face any contenders. They didn't face anybody who, in my opinion, is going to be contending for raising that cup up. The Kings are the closest. I'll take a 2-1 loss. I would have appreciated them getting a point, but I'll take a 2-1 loss. No, that was a bad week. A really bad week and a frustrating week. It was a frustrating week for me as a Seattle sports fan. You know, the Huskies got absolutely drummed. The basketball team played well. And by the way, I am recapping all of those games if you want to check those out too. Yeah, it's just, these are the type of weeks you can't have. You don't have enough margin of error, or margin for error, I guess is the correct way to put that. Got to be better. And the split between Grubauer and Decord needs to be higher. You just can't. Everybody has bad days. Everybody has them. Lord knows I have them. Lord knows you have them. That's the type of effort that's just unacceptable, because you scored 5 goals. To say you should have won that game, you finally get some production from Shane Wright, and it means nothing because Philip Grubauer played like not even an AHL goalie, like a WHL goalie. Not good. Not good, but the nice part is it's a very long season and you're going to have ups and downs. But don't be surprised when we do a season recap if I talk about this week. Because winning one of these 5, nope, can't happen. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Live chat tonight for all of my Mile Y enthusiasts. Please come check that out. It's $4.99 a month, but you get a bunch of really cool stuff, and you're going to get a bunch of really cool stuff in 2025. I am committing hard to making that work, and it's working. People don't seem to be complaining too much, but I really want to make it a big thing. So, and we're going to have a giveaway in January that is incredible. Stay tuned to Blue Sky to see what I'm giving away, because this is nuts. But I really want this to work. And I really want the Kraken to be good. They weren't good today. They didn't play. They weren't good this week.